I'm Steve Murphy, and welcome to the Insider Exclusive. Today's show is a special tribute to William L. Britt and the tragedy he suffered in the halls of UCLA injustice. Stay tuned. This is a show that is a great tragedy. It's a tribute to a young man, William L. Britt. His father is here. His father is Don Britt. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve.
There's two things we're going to discuss in this program. We'll discuss what happened with your son, and then later on we're going to have your son's attorney, Bill Ginsburg, in here talking about some of the problems and the issues and the obstacles that happened. But just relate to us about your son, Will. What happened?
Well, you might say the official record is that April 28th of 2005, he was killed in an automobile accident.
Mm-hmm. He was driving his car?
He was driving a car. He was by himself, and he was returning to Stockton. He was at that time a student at the University of Pacific. Mm-hmm. When I was able to come to my senses, the first question and virtually the only line of questioning that the officer pursued with me was whether or not my son had been under what he called unusual stress recently. And I responded yes. And the accident will go down as a single vehicle accident where the driver lost control of the car and struck the back of a semi. When Will was at Santa Cruz, there was an incident where they had been invited to a party at a private residence. The party was crashed by some, I guess I would call them wannabe gang members. Will and a couple of his friends were accosted. Will was involved in defending one of his friends. And ultimately, the police became involved, several arrests were made, and there was great concern about retaliation because of the gang affiliation.
He had testified.
And well, the question was whether he and the two of his classmates would make the identifications to put the perpetrators away, and the boys were willing to do that. So the decision was made for the security of both the boys, the three boys, and the university was to transfer them. One young man went to Santa Barbara, and Will and a friend of his went to UCLA, where he was very happy, and he prospered academically.
He had the world at his fingertips.
World at his fingertips. And then in September of 2004, as he was commencing his senior year at UCLA.
So he had been here about 2 years.
Yeah, been a little over 2 years. Mm-hmm. I received a telephone call from him, and he was just really hysterical. And this was early September, and he'd been visited by two campus police officers. And it was very difficult for me to extract from him exactly what had taken place, but after talking to him for a while, and then he gave me the name of one of the officers who I contacted, it turned out that a complaint had been filed with the university alleging that he was guilty of sexual assault. And so I called the police officer. I talked to him for a while, and I said, well, what exactly do you mean? Now, I'm an attorney, as you know, but I don't do criminal work, and I wanted to know specifically what was being involved. And the officer told me it was a rape allegation. And so then I asked him, I said, well, when did this occur? He said, well, in June. And first thing I thought to myself is, you know, if a rape takes place in June, the police don't show up
3 months later.
3 months later. There's something wrong with this situation. This led to the most awful, tragic period of time from September on. The university ultimately referred the matter in, I think, late October, early November to the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office.
For prosecution.
For prosecution. This was not the decision of the police officers. This was the decision of the administration of UCLA. I had by that time obtained the statement that the alleged victim had given to this, I call him the junior dean. And I could see immediately by looking at it that it was not a credible statement.
December, the district attorney decided not to prosecute.
Says we're not going to do anything.
Should be a done issue then, right?
In my opinion, yes, because this is this is not a student disciplinary issue. This is an allegation of actually a felonious
criminal nature.
Criminal nature, for which we have a criminal justice system that takes care of those matters.
Let me bring in right now Bill Ginsburg, who represented your son in this matter, so he can explain the intricacies and the problems that happened in this case, okay?
Thank you.
I am very pleased to have with us Bill Ginsburg. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Bill, you represented Will in this matter, didn't you?
I did, yes.
So come December 2004, the district attorney's office decides not to prosecute, and UCLA administration picks up after that, right?
That's correct.
And what happened?
They convened under the authority and color of their particular rules and regulations a panel led by a prominent law professor with members of the faculty as a tribunal, if you will, and a professorial or administrative prosecutor, and they proceeded to present evidence which was going to be the basis of a decision made by the judges.
Yeah, here's what I don't understand. The district attorney has a lot more power, and if it's a serious crime, if they chose not to prosecute it, why is UCLA even bothering with this right now?
Because UCLA felt that it had an obligation under a federal statute that they felt forced them to police the values, standards, the boundaries of students and how they reacted to them.
But Will, in December, is no longer attending the University of California, right?
That's correct, and that was a major point that we raised. He was no longer attending. The matter was moot, and why would they proceed with it? They felt an obligation to proceed with it, almost punitively. And to the day I die, I will never understand why they proceeded with that, because I think that was a major factor in Will's ultimate breakdown. And I honestly believe that there's a strong medicine here, but I honestly believe this proceeding was the precipitation or the precipiter of Will's death.
Still, you know, it's hard to understand. The prosecutor decides not to prosecute. The rape kit turns out negative, and UCLA still goes on its merry way. Well, thank you very much for being on the show, and thank you for helping Will.
Thank you.
My sincere condolences to you.
Thank you, Steve.
As a father, and it's just a human being. And I'm glad we were able to do this tribute to Will.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. You can get more information about our guest and the issues at insiderexclusive.tv. Come back again.